Sorry, I guess I haven't talked much today. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited for this project today. It is this card Yahtzee, but we're not going to quite do what Yahtzee told us to do. In fact, I have even lost track of what Yahtzee told us we were supposed to do. I know it's over the top. Does anybody remember? Because I had it out. Okay, well, let's just see what we were supposed to do. So give me just a second to pull this up, and we'll talk about card Yahtzee and what it is that we're doing, and then I'm gonna show you how or why I deviated from that today. Okay, so card Yahtzee told us to do a thank you card. So let me just get out the dice. Goodness. And okay, so here are the dice, and it told us to do a thank you card using neutrals and over the top with blending and texture. Now, we are going to do a lot of that, but some of the key pieces are missing. It's not a thank you card. We need a birthday card for Hazel. And a 4-year-old girl doesn't need neutrals, but I promise you, it is over the top. Blending. Well, we are using Stampin Blends. And, hey Joyce, and we got a lot of texture going on here. So we're getting 3 out of 5 today, so I'm pretty excited. And I would love to see if you are creating along with me what you are making. Now, I thought I'd have a finished product to show you all today, and I almost do. But there was a boo-boo. You might have seen the sneak peek that I showed you. Well, after that sneak peek, I decided to add crystal effects to this little porthole window on the rocket ship and to the little girl. Well, then when I got ready to put this together, I thought it felt dry. I really did. So I put my adhesive on the back. Of course, it was laying down, and when I picked it back up, there was a good chunk of her face that was gone. So I had to bail on bless her little heart, and she was so cute. Joyce, happy birthday to you tomorrow. Yeah, I had her colored so well. I was really happy with her until I stole her. And in fact, I'm going to have to throw her away because it just breaks my heart to look at her. But so I don't quite have a finished card. But anyway, this little girl is going to go right here. But this is a shaker card with a twist. So I watched a video of Patty Bennett, and she said that she had picked up this idea from an Instagram reel. But it opens like this. Isn't this cute? Now, I'm not mailing this card, so I'm okay that I've added lots of dimension here, okay? Now, I decided that, okay, yeah, you could write your message right here, but you got all of this real estate back here, so why not use it to write your message? My colors look really a bit off, but in any event, I think that's partly because I've got the lights different to try and avoid some of the glare that we get. So, but don't worry, I'll have good photos that I share when this makes it to the blog. So, let me show you what all we've got. I'm trying to decide. Okay, so I think we'll start coloring our little girl. I've already colored her because, like I said in my blog post earlier, it's kind of boring to watch somebody color. So I went ahead and I've colored her, and I've started cutting her out. Now we're going to stamp and color together the little rocket ship. So that you can see a little bit of coloring, but not so much that I do here. We are using the Stellar Birthday Bundle. Okay, now I only used a little bit of the bundle, but let me show you what piece I did use. So this bundle is in the annual catalog, and it would be really cool to do the the, what do you call it when you turn the wheel? All right, where are you? Stellar Birthday, page 57. Okay, so page 57 of the main catalog. Okay, here it is. So you can use the dies to create this wheel where a spinner. It's not really, is it a spinner? I don't even know what you call it. But that's not what we did with it today. But we're going to do this one day, I promise. But we are going to use the stars, these dies from the kit. But look, you've got clouds, hearts, this sweet little scallop. Lots of fun dies here. You could even do this really cool scallop, because that's just going to cut the outside of the scallop if you had this and not the layering circles, or you needed the size that this makes. So some pretty cool dies there. And I used the scalloped contours. I used this second to largest scallop in it. But all the supplies will be in the blog post, so you can, if you subscribe to my blog, then that's going to get delivered to your inbox in the morning. If you don't, well, why don't you? But I'll get the blog post finished after we're done. Okay, so we're using the Stellar Birthday. I used this little girl. I used this little stamp set. I used these little stars. And then I used the You're Out of This World. So that's what I used here. And then on the back, I used Biggest Wish. This designer series paper is from the Penguin designer series paper that was in Celebration. And I know that we've been so sad that Celebration is over. Well, guess what? Celebration is coming back. I also, can you see that there are some 4s in here? So I've got some 4s in fresh freesia that I dumped in here. And now I did fuss a little bit. The stars are cut from some glimmer paper that is retired, but I had to have the shimmer, so I did that. And then the sequins are from the Peaceful Cabin bundle. They're called Subtle Shimmer Sequins. And of course, I've got a translucent envelope. I've got a window sheet in here. The window sheet, the purpose of the window sheet is just to give this some stability. Without it, your envelope would be kind of floppy. Okay, so where to start? See, because the crystal effects take some time to dry, I'm going to kind of do this a little out of order. So I'm just going to fussy cut her out. And yeah, I know it would have been amazing if those dies had had her little image to cut out with. But there are already so many amazing dies in that set that I can't imagine that the price would have been affordable. And this way, fussy cutting is not, it's really not difficult. It does take a little practice, but once you get the hang of moving your paper instead of your scissors, it's really not so bad. And honestly, if somebody is looking at my fussy cutting that closely, well, they'd be better off spending their time doing lots of other things. And even my coloring I do for me. It's my relaxation. I think I do okay. I have loved the coloring class I have been taking this fall with Heather Thomas from the UK. And I'll be sharing some of those tips as I learn them as well. Those classes occur at 4 a.m. on Saturdays, my time. Not every Saturday, but I've been getting up for them, but I didn't get up for the last one because I had a class later that same day. And so now I'm a little bit behind. Okay, so she is cut out. And can you see? So I used bronze and the dark soft suede blends on her hair. And I did that first when I was coloring because I wanted it to completely dry so that I could come back in and add some texture, because Hazel has curly hair. So I am just adding kind of some little C's. And now that it's dry, it won't blend in as much and she'll get a little texture. And it's just it's a very subtle thing. All right, so my colors, I did use Smoky Slate, bronze and soft suede, ivory, and flirty flamingo. While the ivory had just been applied, I added 2 little tiny circles of flirty flamingo, and they blend in so beautifully. It's really, really, really subtle. And then I used Fresh Freesia blends, and that was it. Now I am going to come back with the Fresh Freesia. That's really not easy to say. And I want to make this little star darker. And I thought I want her little spacesuit to be a little shiny. So we're going to do some Wink of Stella and some crystal effects. So I'm going to do the Wink of Stella on her little suit. I did not do this the first time. And there's no reason not to do the star too. I'm going to come back with crystal effects on the star, shimmery crystal effects. But we'll just add a little extra bling because this is for Hazel. And she's only going to be 4 once. You might notice my shirt is says pray. And this is my reminder to actively pray and share for a friend's grandson. There's a 3-year-old from our community who has been taken by his father. Jacob Clare is the father's name, and he has taken 3-year-old Noah, and he has taken his 16-year-old niece, Amber. And he's so far managed to go off the grid. So we are actively sharing as much information as we can about him. Jacob is 6'7". He goes by Jake, and he has brown hair and blue eyes. He has a lot of tattoos on his left arm. He has a tattoo on his right arm as well, but his left arm is got a tattoo that goes all the way down. So if you are friends with me, I've shared the details there a couple of times. You can also look for a group called Bring Noah and Amber Home Safe, I believe. And I will add some links to that so that you can help us get the word out. Because as far as I know, they really, although they know the car that he left our area in, they don't know where he is. He left behind his, oh, sorry, I got my head in. He did not take his cell phone. He did, Amber doesn't have hers either. So that is, if you would share in that with us, we would very much appreciate it. I have known Edie, Noah's grandmother, since high school or thereabouts. Noah looks a lot like Hazel in that he has curly brown hair and blue eyes. Okay, so Crystal Effects does take some time to dry, as I have already discovered, so I probably won't try and put that on the card while we are live. But you can see the reason I put it on her helmet was to look like an astronaut's helmet, you know, with the face shield down. So that's going to be all shiny, like there's a covering, you know, a face shield. I think that's what it's called. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp the rocket and color it, and then we'll have that part done. I'll still need to do another little girl, so another female astronaut, because I'm going to end up with not enough for my cards here. Because I'm going to end up with only this one good one, and I'll end up with 2 cards. So anybody else needs a card for their 4-year-old girl, then this would be suited for them. Okay, I'm cracking up because somewhere there I have a hot mess on my desk right now. Last night was our team meeting, and we had so much fun. We did a lot of recognition, and we did some stamping. Poop is always funny, isn't it? So, all right, so I've got him stamped. We're still going to have some stamping to do, but let's go ahead and get him colored, and then I'm going to refer to my little guy over here. So I did, again, Smoky Slate, and then Fresh Freesia. And I did use a color lifter on this one as well. So, starting with my dark and my dark Smoky Slate, please behave, please behave, please. Oh, thank you. My dark Smoky Slate tends to come out all the way. But it's still got plenty of ink, so as long as I can get it to go back together, I'm going to keep using it. So once we get this card made, and I'm sorry, it probably will take a little while. It's got a lot of steps, and you know, that's what the dice called for. It asked for over the top and texture and blending. So we are following directions. So you'll notice I put down a little bit of the dark, and then I'm coming back with the light and doing a lot of layers over that dark, and then kind of expanding where I go with my color. And that helps me avoid some of the streaking. It'll help me get a smooth image, smoothly colored, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, it won't have any streaks. Now, it's also, as you know, because you watched yesterday's video, it's also going to have some bleeding on the back, which is going to be interesting because, well, I hadn't thought about that, because that bleeding is going to be visible right here. I'm not going to worry about that. If this was a die cut, I might cut a second layer, but I don't think I can cut so precisely. If I were making this to sell, I might cut a second layer of white or fresh freesia to hide the back of it, but I don't think I'll do that for Hazel's. All right, I think that is all of the gray, and I'm satisfied with that. Now I'm going to come back with the fresh freesia, and I'm kind of making this left side darker. But you know, this would not be a flat image, so I'm not doing a very good job of reflecting that. That is the lesson that I slept through. I opted for sleep the day that was taught, and I haven't gone back and watched the replay yet. But oddly enough, today, I did watch the replay of some Stampin' Up! Training from August for Stampin' Up! Leaders. That I hadn't had a chance to watch, and so glad I did, because our access to that is going to be going away. Starting tomorrow is On Stage. I'm so excited. We're gonna get to see the new catalog. We'll be able to order from the new catalog. Not full, not wide open ordering. So don't get that excited. If you would like me to send you a catalog, then please let me know. I can have Stampin' Up! Send a catalog directly to you. Trying to think what else. Today is the last day to RSVP to the Card Club on November 27th, which will be using the Peaceful Cabin bundle one more time. The cards are beautiful. That suite has so much to it that we've made different cards every time I've used it, and I've shown lots of ways that it can be used. So it's also the last day to reserve your paper pumpkin for this month. And the paper pumpkin is going to be super cute. It is treat bags, 9 treat bags. I believe there are 3 designs. I know one of them is snowmen. And they're a good size. So if you've got teachers or neighbors, classmates, there's all kinds of ways to use these treat boxes. And of course, there'll be lots of people that come up with other things to do with these other than treat boxes. I have ordered several extra kits, anticipating maybe having a kit night with the neighborhood kids. Hardin only has 5 classmates, so don't need extra kits for that. I do kind of put the UPS driver and the postman to work, so they might like to have some treats. But you can subscribe. I have a paper pumpkin link. If you actually go to my website, which is visible here, michellesalcho.com, the only trick there is that Michele just has one L. Once you get there, you'll see Shop Stampin' Up! Online, and there are links that will take you to purchase the kits, like the Love Santa Treat Kit, tag kit, sorry. However, that one is currently not available. That was a poor example on my part. All right, let's add some crystal effects to this porthole, and we will let that dry. And I'll pick up that little girl so you can see how that is smoothing out. You could take a paper clip or take your pick tool and spread this out evenly, but I think as it dries, it does a pretty good job of smoothing itself out, as long as you don't lay it back down on itself. Oh, y'all, and she looks so sparkly. Oh my goodness. I love, love, love this. Okay. Now, let's take a look at how this card is made, all right? So, first we have this window sheet. I put some tear and tape down to remind myself of the steps. So, we have a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11, so it's a half a piece of cardstock, and it's scored at 5 1/2. Normally, this would be your card. No. This is going to go like this. Okay, this is the top, and this is where the DSP goes. That window is going to lay over like this, right? And then these two pieces are going to stick together, and then I'm going to stamp on the back. You with me? So, the window sheet, now you can see that without the window sheet, this is pretty just unstable. But you can see here, it's still got some bend and flexibility to it, but it's not flimsy. It easily falls open. All right. So, put your window sheet in. So the window sheet is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'll put these instructions out there. You don't have to memorize them. And I'm going to add some of these sequins. I really looked at the retired sequins that I had, but the blues didn't match from the whale. From the whale from a year ago. Okay, now I have some 4s. I think I have 3 4s. I should have 4 4s, I think. Did I not cut 4? Maybe I just did 3. And I should have 6 stars. 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's my 6 stars and my 3 4s. And the only thing I'm going to do is I want these to slide in right side up. I don't care if the 4s are upside down, but I don't want them to be backwards. Yeah. All right, so, like so. And that looks like a pretty good amount. Let's take a look. Let's see what you all think. So here are the whale. And so you've got a lot of pinks. I'm just not sure about all of that blue. And I'm certainly not going to pick through this. So I'll have to change up the color scheme so I can do something with that. Because I save all those retired sequins. Okay, and they're already trying to escape. So get back in there, guys. Now, I'm going to tape with some clear tape. I need to tape the edge of this closed. Come on. All right, so this is not Stampin' Up. And I have to admit, guys, I have a really, well, as you can tell, I have a really hard time seeing that line. So, and I can see there's a hair. Okay. I'm sorry, I know my head's going to get in this. But this is to seal the window shut so the sequins don't escape. And, you know, it's clear. It's basically invisible. I didn't quite get it long enough. So I'm going to add some on this end and a tiny bit on the other end. Okay. Now, so this is the front, and so we're going to keep this as our reference. So I've got another piece, same size, same score line. Just going to burnish the edge a little bit. Totally goofed that up. All right, almost did it, didn't I? Okay, so now this piece, now I'm going to line this up. The cello envelope is a little bit wider than my card. That's okay. I just want the bottoms of each to meet, and then your envelope has some adhesive. You just peel that off, drop it in the floor because I missed the trash can. And then I'm going to fold this over. And now it is stuck to what is going to be the inside of our card. Right? Now, at this point, I want to stop and stamp, okay, the back. And that may sound silly, but I'm going to have some texture once I tape those together. So I want to stamp ahead of time. And I was going to do it a little differently this time. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I wanted to stamp. Okay, so here's, actually, I think I've decided, nothing like, trying to make up your mind. I had to change up a couple of things, right? And I don't have, I like the DSP feature on the back of this one. Actually, we could do two pieces. Let's grab that paper and see. A couple of pieces. You're not wide enough. All right. So let's see how wide this is. You are just under 8. Okay, so I need, I'll just do 1/2 inch. Okay, can't make up my mind, so I'm going to split the difference and do 3/4 and 3/4, top and bottom. And then it needs to run the full width, so we will cut that to 4 1/4. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that on our card so we can see. Okay, so it's our front, this is our back, so this is where we're going to stamp on. I'm just going to add a little multi-purpose glue. Okay, that, and then it would actually be easier to stamp on before I added the clear envelope, but I knew if I did that, I would stamp it upside down. And I'm still not totally convinced I won't. That's the front. So this is our front, this is our back. This is the way our stamping needs to go. Do y'all get nervous like that? And so I've got the fresh freesia, and I am going to stamp. And of course this is hanging over, but I love this photopolymer stamp because I can line it up pretty well, or well enough. And I went all the way around whether I was going to right center that right justify or left justify, if I was going to do two colors. But I think in the end, I'm just going to kind of center them up. I love this stamp set. Okay. Hard part's over, right? All right, that's that. And we can clean these guys. When we were stamping this weekend, when I was cleaning the stamps off, Hazel says, "Oh, that makes a sound." And she kept covering up her ears. And I'm like, it's squeaky clean. That's not a bad thing. I don't know that I convinced her. But I tried. She was so proud of her tags. All right, that is that part. We can put our DSP down on the center here. And then we've got, and we can stamp and emboss on that Misty Moonlight label. But before we put it down, I will put the tape on the inside. And actually, I guess we could at that point go ahead and seal it up. Okay, so that's what it's looking like so far. That's so fun. So you can see the stars and the fours just floating around in there. All right, this part. So I really like the way this turned out. So I'm going to do that again. And I need the Versamark. And I need, oops, sorry. That was kind of loud. I need You're Out of This World. And I need this. And I need this. Okay. Forgive my head if it goes in the way here. So this Misty Moonlight isn't in color, and I'm going to be very sad when it leaves in the spring, for so many reasons. Now, if we're writing our message on, no, actually, I want this about in the same location because that little girl is going to be just here, so you'd almost see through the sequins to that. So I might even come up just a touch higher, or I could scoot over. It's hard to know. It will be fine, whichever way we do it. And then I put this about here. Now Versamark, clear, sticky ink, so I've got plenty of time to stamp all my little stars. and then add the embossing powder. Because it's not a quick drying ink. All right, I think that's enough. Now we'll get the white embossing powder out, which, as you remember, I keep in this little container. Embossing powders now are sold in sets of 3. There's a basics and a metallics. And I don't know what I did over there. But I think I got it pretty well covered. I am going to take this little paintbrush and see if I can clean up that part just a tad. I'm okay with the other little parts. So I'm just melting that powder now with the heat tool. There are a couple of days next week that some things are going to be on sale. So cardstock is going to be on sale. Stamps are going to be on sale. Dies are going to be on, no, I said that wrong. Cardstock, inks, ink pads, and dies are on sale. I have now forgotten if stamps are on sale or not. But I will share that in the newsletter. Because you don't want to miss out. This will be a great time to stock up on these colors that are going to go away. If you love them and want to continue using them after they retire, get them now while they're on sale. Okay. So, now I've lost my card. Okay, here you are. Now we're ready to put the tape down to hold this up now. So I'm going to put another piece of tear and tape here that will just hold this flap more tightly. So I'll put my tear and tape. Tear and tape, we all have a, well, we love it, but it can frustrate you when it's difficult to pick up the edges. But if you give it a rub, say a magic word and a little prayer, maybe that won't be so difficult. And then we're just going to put some tear and tape here, down the edge. And then here. And then I already had that piece there, so this piece is going to adhere to the clear envelope, and then this piece is going to adhere to the back side, or the inside of the back. I don't know. And I so didn't want to do that first. Well, way to make things hard. That one needs to go first, okay? Do that one first, guys. Then that one. And then your sides. So, let's see. Did I remind you of everything? It's the 10th, which is the last day to register for classes. Upcoming classes, Peaceful Cabin on the 27th. That is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So it is going to meet in person, but I understand that not everybody will be able to meet. The 30th is a Tuesday, and you may take either or both the classes. They're both fundraisers for our Christ-Centered Creations, which raises funds for the Foundation Fighting Blindness. And they are each $30. Includes a $20 goodie bag, and anything above my cost goes to the foundation. I'm so glad you like it. I'm just tickled pink. Oops. Oh yeah, I did have it right. So those are both on the 30th. Any of these classes can be to go or in person. And you can register on my website. I think that it still needs a little bit of work, but it is possible. Okay, so let's see if we can get this little guy down with... I'm terrified to mess it up again. I don't want to use glue. Not quite sure why I don't, but maybe a tiny piece of tear and tape on this one. Quite carefully avoiding the porthole. Is it a porthole in a rocket ship? Okay, I'm just going to position that so it's going right over that planet. And then her. Can we do her? Man, it's really scary. But I think, see, I'll put her right here, and that way she's peeking. You can see you're out of this world right here. And all the sequins. So let's see if where's the end? Goodness, this is one very long video, people. Okay, do a little bit for her head. I'm feeling very brave, you know. I'm not able to get the backing off. It wants to all come up. That's the benefit of the burnishing, is that it kind of helps. Okay, I'm just going to have to leave that, and I'll come back and peel it and get it to stick down later. That one got a good stick. Thank you. I appreciate all of that. Oh my goodness. How stinking cute is that? We've got 4s and stars in with our sequins. We've got some Wink of Stella on her suit. Of course, her head is in crystal effects. There's a little crystal effects on her star. Crystal effects on that porthole, making it look shiny. And then you're out of this world. And hopefully when I turn this over, we're going to be able to see... Happy birthday, right side up. Yay! I call this success. This is awesome. All right, guys, I will get this loaded and posted to YouTube and then onto my blog where all of the supplies will be listed. Thanks so much for hanging out for nearly an hour. That's about twice as long as I want to keep you. But Too cute. Everybody needs to be doing this. We need to get out all of our sequins. In fact, after I saw this card that Patty made, I ordered more sequins so that I can do more like this. So I got to make myself another little girl to go on this card. And then, I don't know, I'm pretty excited. Thanks so much for being here. Have a very blessed day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.